Hi, in this session we are going to discuss about the interface analysis. So generally a software engineering process models are meant for the purpose of four things, that is understanding the problem before you attempt to design a solution. So before you are going to give a solution, you have to understand the problem. In case of user interface design, understanding the problem means the people who will interact with the system through the interface. You have to understand the task that end users must perform to do their work. And the third one is the content that is presented as part of the interface and the environment in which these tasks will be conducted. So you have to focus on the users, the tasks they are going to perform, the content that you are going to present in interface, and the environment in which you are going to work. So these four things must be understood in order to design the user interface. Next topic is user analysis. So user analysis, how you are going to analyze the user will be understood in this topic. That is, the user will be understandable with the help of various array of sources. That is, user will be conducted the interviews. That is, users will be conducted an interview so that what is their needs, motivations, and work culture. So what are the requirements, that and all will be understood with the user interviews. And the sales input, that is the sales people who will meet the users on a regular basis, and they are going to gather the information that will help the software team to categorize users and better understand their requirements. So something like, if you are going to design an app or software related to the e-commerce, so e-commerce will be having different kinds of users. So one user will be having different demands when compared to other users. So that's why there must be some sort of manpower in order to understand or analyze the user. The first one is by interviewing the user directly, the software team will understand something, and the people, they must connect and meet the users regularly. They are called sales people. They will give the input. And the market analysis, how the market will be, must be given with the marketing input. And next, the support input means the support staff, with the help of the calls, they are going to talk to the users on the daily basis. They are going to get the information, what they are going to like, what they are going to dislike, or any feedback they are going to take from the users, and then they are going to give to the software team. So some of the questions that will better understand the users of a system are users trained professionals, technicians, that is, they are okay with their knowledge, and what level of formal education, that is, how far they have been educated. Next, are users capable of learning from written materials, or have they expressed a desire of classroom training? That is, by just giving the information in a documents, if they are able to understand, or they have to give some sort of classroom training. Are users expert typists or keyboard phobic? So somebody they are good at typing, somebody they are slow at typing, and so on. So what is the age range of the user community? So just now we have discussed, for example, the case of e-commerce. So the persons who are purchasing the things in e-commerce will be having different age groups, children, or the youth, or the middle-aged, or the old people. So depending upon the user age, their requirements, their things that they are going to buy, that must be analyzed. And will the users be represented predominantly by one gender, and how are users compensated for the work they perform? So these are some sort of questions. So next is task analysis and modeling. The goal of task analysis is to answer the following questions. That is, what work will the user perform in specific circumstances? So what are the tasks and subtasks will be performed as a user does the work? What specific problem domain objects will the user manipulate as work is performed? What is the sequence of work tasks? That is one after the other, some tasks will be there, that is called sequence of tasks. That is what we are going to call the workflow. So something like you go for the e-commerce. So what are the things that you are going to do? That is the users will browse for the product, and the product will be added to the cart, and after adding to the cart the payment will be started and the payment will be done, and then the delivery must be given to the user. So in this way some sequence of tasks will be there, that is called the workflow. And what is the hierarchy of the task? So here we are going to focus on the use cases. So use cases are nothing but the kind of things between communication between the end user and the system. So how the user will be interacted with the system will be given in the form of some paragraphs or some sentences, so that they are going to interact with the system. For example, if a company wants to build a computer-aided design system explicitly for interior designers, suppose the task is to give a software to design a system for interior designers. So to get a better understanding how to do the work, actual interior designers are asked to describe a specific design function. When asked, how do you decide where to put furniture in a room? So that is what some kind of things that are going to be taken as example in the case of use cases. So the use case provides the basic description of one important work task for the computer-aided design system. From it, you can extract tasks, objects, and overall flow of interaction, and what the interior designer must be going to be taken. For example, a photo could be taken looking out each window in a room. When the room is rendered, the actual outside view could be represented through each window. And next one is task elaboration. So elaborating means some sort of refinement, some sort of improvement in the task is called as elaboration. That is, some task is going to be shown further, elaboratively, more in depth. That is called as task elaboration. That is, here task analysis can be applied in two ways. The first one is using the interactive way by using the computer based system, or to use with the manual tasks. That is, in two ways we are going to understand the task analysis. So here, if we take the example, let's reconsider the computer-aided design system for interior designers. By observing an interior designer at work, you notice that interior design comprises of number of major activities. That is the furniture layout, fabric and material section, wall and window covering selection, presentation, costing, shopping, and so on. So each of these tasks can be elaborated into subtasks. For example, using information contained in the use case furniture layout can be refined into following tasks. That is, draw a floor plan based on the room dimensions, place windows and doors at appropriate locations, use furniture templates to draw scaled furniture outlines on the floor plan, and so on. So these are the subtasks. So in this way the tasks are going to be elaborated for the interior designer example. So next one is object elaboration. So rather than focusing on only tasks, user must perform the use cases obtained from the user and extract physical objects that are used by the interior design. So these objects can be categorized into classes. Attributes of each class are defined. And for example, if we take the furniture template, we might translate this furniture into a class called furniture with attributes, size, shape and location. The interior designer would select objects from the furniture class and move it. So these are the different tasks that are going to be performed. So next one is work analysis. When a number of different users playing different roles makes use of a user interface, it is sometimes necessary to go beyond task analysis and object elaboration and apply workflow analysis. So apart from the task analysis and object elaboration, we are going to do the workflow analysis, that is in which way they are going to be from starting activity to the ending task, that is called workflow analysis. This technique allows you to understand how a work process is completed when several people are involved. So consider a company, they want to fully automate the process of prescribing and delivering prescription drugs. So that is the medicines. The entire process will revolve around a web-based application that is accessible by physicians or their assistants, pharmacists and patients. So how the workflow can be represented with the help of UML streamline diagram like this. So this is the swimlane diagram for prescription useful refill function. That is, here we are going to have the three things, that is called patient, pharmacist and physician. The patient will request that a prescription can be refilled, and pharmacist will determine the status of prescription. That is, if there are no refills remaining, the physician will check the patient records, approves refill. Then if the refills are remaining, checks for inventory for refill or alternative. If the refill is not allowed, evaluates alternative medication, that is any other medicines has to be written by physician. And if the inventory or it is out of stock, then the patient will receive out of stock notification, receives time or date to pick up, then pick up the prescription. If it is in stock, fills the prescription and the task will be completed. So if there are no alternative medicines, then receives request to contact physician. So this is the different flow of activities in the workflow. So what is the user task that is mentioned here is requesting that a prescription can be refilled. That is, provide identifying information, specify name, specify user ID, specify PIN and password, specify the prescription number and specify the date refill is required. So these are the different subtasks. Analysis of display content. The user tasks lead to the presentation of a variety of different types of content. For example, for modern applications, display content for range from character-based reports, that is a spreadsheet, or graphical displays such as Instagram, a 3D model, or a picture of a person, or specialized person information, something like audio or video files. The analysis modeling techniques identify data objects that are produced by an application. These data objects may be generated by components in other parts of an application, acquired from data stored in a database that is accessible from the application, transmitted from systems external to the applications in question. So what are the questions that are there is, are different types of data assigned to consistent geographical locations on the screen? Can the user customize the screen? Is proper on-screen identification is done? If a large report is presented, how should it be partitioned for ease of understanding? Will mechanisms be available for moving directly to summary information for large collections of data? Will graphical output be scaled to fit within the bounds of the display device that is used? How will color be used to enhance understanding? How will the error messages and warnings be presented to the user? So these are some of the questions. Next, analysis of the work environment. So importance of the work environment is very much. In some applications, the user for a computer-based system is placed in user-friendly location, that is proper lighting, good display height, easy keyboard access. But in others, something like factory floor or airplane cockpit, lighting may be suboptimal, noise may be a factor, a keyboard or mouse may be not an option, display placement may be less than ideal. So some problems will be there when compared to the user-friendly location. So in this way, the interface designer has to design in such a way that it must be able to work out with both the user-friendly and also non-user-friendly. So in addition to the physical environment factors, the workplace culture also comes into play. So this is about the interface analysis. Thank you.